All right. Good morning, everybody. Let's fire up the TD Pro Trade Room for a Tuesday, right? Tuesday, February 22nd, 2022. Hey, I had to cut it short on Friday, and then now back at my place in Vegas, and we have a whole lot of wind going on out here. So my internet has been intermittent. I do have a satellite, so I switched over to that, and then I'm back on the main line, but hopefully we'll be able to keep it all together here. I say it's almost 40, 50 miles an hour out here by the canyons. All right, so good morning, everybody. We got picture and sound. Can I just get a 1 if everything is cool? That would be awesome. And I want to just do a couple quick housekeeping notes. Let's see here. Okay, cool. Thank you. Let me make sure I set this so I can see the chat scroll. There we go. Awesome. All right, so lots of stuff going on in the markets, obviously, right? So we have kind of dueling backdrops between the geopolitical situations in Russia and Ukraine. I know for the most part, we are somewhat focused on how that affects our markets and our day trading JOB or pursuits, if you will. But of course, I'm hopeful that everyone is also doing whatever they do to put energy out into the world around peaceful resolution, because this obviously could mean that people lose their lives, and a couple ticks on the chart is meaningless compared to stuff like that. I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but it clearly looks like Putin is just trying to do a do-over on the end of the Cold War. I used to play a lot of war games when I was in high school. Not things like Risk, but real games like Diplomacy and some others where you would model out various wars and the ends to them and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, this is nothing new. He's been doing this for a while. So if you know your history, he's been a guy that has always lamented the way those lines were drawn at the end of the Cold War. So that brings up there's been some great threads going on in Discord. And by the way, we're growing our membership, which is fantastic, but still a very small percentage of members actually log in and interact in Discord, which is fine. Messaging apps are not for everybody, but if you're a member and you've made an investment, either lifetime or bought a new annual license, I'm even going to extend access to Discord to people that are on the monthly plan. I decided to throw a monthly plan in there as well. There's just a lot of people that said, I want to continue, but I can't commit, man. It's not you, it's me. I can't commit. You need to give me a non-committal plan. So just a couple things. First of all, stuff like this. This is the beauty of the T line. So that's the ZN, and the ZB looks exactly the same. As the markets recovered a little bit last night and popped, the notes and bonds came all the way down, rates up, notes, bonds down, right to prior session's low, right to T line. Just I'm not saying this is something that you'd go long now and reverse it, but it isn't a key long here. But the break lower and the separation from the T line when we were up at the POC there, VPOC there, is just a thing of beauty, and it happens in all markets. But not all time frames. We like to look at this on the 30 and the 60. You can throw a T line on anything else. I know some of you actually have T lines on 3 minutes and 5 minutes, but I've done millions of back tests, and the relevance to this moving average is most significant on 30-minute and 2 hours. It's valid again everywhere, but that was just sort of a thing of beauty. And then again, members, you could not ask for better extreme turns than we had on the first bar of the open last night, right? And I'm sure some of you saw that. So this looked the same on every index, basically. Had one on every index, I'm pretty sure. I know there was one on the NASDAQ, the Dow, and the S&P. I didn't check the Russell. If you're newer here or trial member, the extreme turn is a hybrid indicator that's available for members that I talk about all the time on the TradingView channel. I even show you how you can calculate it somewhat with just using RSI, although it's not nearly as perfect as actually being a member and owning the indicator. Give me a 1 in the chat if anyone watched those extreme turns off the open yesterday on the Sunday open, or you're kind of aware of that level. You don't see that very often, but it was really kind of a thing of beauty, right? So I led with this because what I want to point out is the other thread, which was around talking about the news cycle and looking at potential levels and all the types of things. And I wrote this morning that ultimately overlaying news cycles, whether it's geopolitical or economic or pop culture, or all kinds of things that can end up, or manias like we saw in GameStop, and new things that happen in the marketplace that we can't necessarily anticipate right now. They're all factors that will ultimately overlay your ability to develop situational fluency and weight your sense of the importance of some of those things in your positions, in your trading, in your worldview, in the way you're looking at the market. However, this is a really important, I'm not going to find the whole thread here, but what I'm getting at is please let that inner dialogue be really, really minimalized, especially as you're developing as a trader, or if you're starting to embrace some of the frameworks that we'll talk about. There's only two things that matter in trading, which is good entries in your cost basis and risk management. I'll say that again. Those are the only two things that matter. So what the market is doing, if you're not in it, is meaningless anyway. It really is. I mean, if you're sitting there and going, oh, we could go down to this level or that level, you're just completely wasting your time. If you're not in the, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's value in analysis and value looking at various different time frames, but all that matters is good entries and risk management. And then the second thing is all that matters is volatility and volume. I'll say that again. All that matters is volatility and volume. Hold on a second. God darn it. So if you overlay those two things, the kind of stuff that we talk about here in the room gets you done. What is the ATR? What is the volume profile look like? Or the volume bands, the volatility bands relative to VWAP. That's all you got to really focus on and think about. We tend to like really want to overcomplicate this whole thing. So the reason that order flow is so popular, which I don't teach and train on, and I don't trade, but those of you that are, into order flow or like the jigsaw tools or all those kinds of things, order flow is a perfect example of short-term probabilities. What is a short-term probable outcome relative to the way order flow is happening? What we do in here is ATR, volatility, a measure of volatility, and volume profiles, not an order flow, because I'm too old to look at, those tools on the order flow side. But that is the truth. That's all, it's dynamic, it's measurable, it's systematic. Everything else is just water cooler talk that's kind of fun and almost when I hear that kind of stuff, even amongst my other professional trader friends, when they want to kind of go down that path, we always sort of check ourselves, which is none of us know. Price action is random. And why don't we talk about sports or something else? Because it's just going to clutter our view and our ability to actually just see the charts and see the price very clearly. So some chimed in on that kind of thing. So I just wanted to mention that there. All right. We only have 5 minutes left, so we'll get into this pretty quickly. What do we got going on here? We have bear continuation patterns inside days. Okay. So really nice inside day. We actually have the VPOC for the current session on the S&P below prior session's low. I was long 3 to 4 contracts of all the micros at around this level. I posted something for the NASDAQ. So I've had over the course of this run, and I know some of you have posted similar things, but I was looking back at my trade journal in the last 6 weeks. This is kind of a record. I've had like 15 $3,000 winners on 9 micros or less. Let me say that again, 9 micros or less, $3,000 in the whole position. So that's what's possible. So if you think that you can't do things with micros, when volatility expands and when we get a longer trading day, which we're getting now, give me a 1 in the chat if you're outside the US. Just there's not a whole lot of people, but just give me a 1 if you're outside the US. Give me a 1 if you're outside the US. I know there's some of you here that are outside the U.S. This thing's still working? All right. Well, if you're outside the U.S., you have a trading day that allows you to look at the markets at different times. So take advantage of that, because this kind of volatility in the Globex session is not going to last forever. Dow Jones, you have a bear continuation pattern inside day as well. Same kind of look. So for today, right now, Dow and S&P have a somewhat correlated visual price pattern. I was talking with Greg in Discord. Whenever I mention correlation, I understand that it's always within the context. Right now, the indices are as uncorrelated as they've ever been in terms of a ratio of actual change on an overlay basis. But today, the patterns look the same. And if you're just starting out, the Dow Jones would be a better trade. We're right at prior session's VPOC, as you can see, and we're entering this air pocket here. NASDAQ is a bear continuation pattern, also an inside day. Please note these air pockets here from the current session. However, referencing prior session's VPOC, which is the holiday open from Sunday, is actually a pretty nice level here. So it'll be interesting to see right here, 854, what the bulls want to do. And I believe 850s is probably going to be pretty close to now. VWAP is down here at 757s there. Russell bear continuation pattern inside day, same kind of look. Crude oil, where I'm now on April crude, I think everyone should be on April crude, is a bull continuation pattern outside day up. Okay, so this is a different look. I was having a really fun time watching the flows and what was happening last night. I'm sure some of you were as well. You had all the cryptocurrencies down. You had gold up. You had rates down. You had bonds up. You had, the market, especially the NASDAQ, just getting crushed. So try to remember back and journal on these types of situations, because, you just flash back 4 or 5 months, and we had not even 4 or 5 months, 3 months, and we had days where the NASDAQ, pushing 16,000, 16,500, days where Tesla just went up $150. It's all random and it's all meaningless. So when we say that fundamentals are dead, even technicals in terms of the previous kind of concept of markets need to find a base, right? A stock needs to go down and find a base and build a new group of investors. All that stuff is nonsense now, right? It's just flows and quants that run the whole world. So participate in that game. It's just a ticker. What I love about the futures is it's really hard to fall in love with a commodity or with anything like that. But anyway, there's been a nice flow there, and for now, obviously, crude staying bid. All right, the market just opened. There's gold as an inside day. I already looked at the bonds, so we'll come over here to the MES, and we'll watch the NASDAQ right here. It's actually been a while since we've had a face ripper to the upside. By a while, maybe a couple weeks, but we haven't had a face ripper to the upside in a while. Is anyone else having issues with TradingView? I'm having some TradingView data issues. Could be my machine, or it's probably my data connection, but I'm having some issues there. Okay, folks, again, I think the prior session's VPOC is going to be a key level to kind of watch. Break below that, and you're just into this little air pocket. So we already did it on the Dow. Dow's being affected today. So just this morning, I was talking about focus on volatility and volume and don't be too concerned with the news. But today is an example of it doesn't hurt to know that Home Depot reported earnings. It's in the Dow and it's down quite a bit, right? So if you're looking for sort of a why or it looks like the Dow seems to be outpacing the S&P on the downside. If your head goes to why is that? Now, mine doesn't. I don't particularly care most of the time. But next stop would be prior session's low here at 33,675. So I'm actually just going to put in an order there at that level and just pepper the book down here, see if the Dow continues to drop hard. There you go. S&P also lower. Yeah, you're probably using the same. I don't know which indicator. I just shut my trading view down because I was having issues with it. But yeah, just go in and look at the settings logic or the time, and you can. There's going to be differences between platforms because of data or settings. It's not unusual. I'm going to punch in here a little early. That's aggressive. You should wait for prior sessions low, but I'm just going to hit that there on the Dow long. Nasy's actually holding up pretty well. So that Dow also corresponded to, I got too many accounts. That Dow corresponded to VWAP. So essentially buying prior sessions low was at VWAP. So you got some confluence there. Profile for the Globex looks really thin here, gang. But again, you can reference there's a decent amount of muscle memory likely from the prior session, but just keep in mind this is little air pockets here. So possible for a quick run down to prior session's lows, but not all air pockets are created equal if the prior session has some good volume at those same levels. I'm watching the bonds over here to see if we get any kind of actual movement here in the opening half hour. It's just, they're just stuck like Chuck after they made this move here. If we see some firming up in the stock indices, in theory, we should see those continue to decline. All right, I'm going to do a graceful exit here on one, just to get myself to even. I did a little trading this morning in one of the earned to trade TCPs, but I'm likely going to cancel these. I'll tell you more about it later. It's a great program. It's just for everything that I have going on and how the community is growing, I don't think I necessarily need to have those smaller account sizes. We can just trade the micros in any size account. I'm going to size them as if we're trading a $25,000 account. Earn to Trade does allow up to 3 different accounts, but they don't make it all that easy. You have to sign up with different emails, then ask support to connect them under the same login, and then you have to ask for live commissions to each one. Don't get me wrong, it's a great program, and it's a very good starting point, the TCP program. But if you're a little bit more experienced, I think you're going to find elements of the program a little annoying. Or at least I do. All right, nice little runner. Anyone long the Dow or long anything here? All right, so now I'm just going to place next order at structure. So we're out the Dow for a little winner. Just recapping that Dow trade is pretty simple. We're just buying prior sessions low and VWAP. Made some confluence there. If you want to be on the much more conservative side, you're looking at buying current VPOCs on all of these stock indices. Someone was commenting on the profiles being over the bars. If you don't like that, you can double click on the indicator, and you can go to it's order flow volume profile, and you just have to find the opacity. Here you go. So see how that's set to 70. I don't know why it's set to 70. So I'll change it on and let it. Okay, that's still no good. Can't quite see them. So you can double click on it again and go to an opacity maybe of, that's the only opacity setting, right? Did I change the right opacity setting? Let's go to 20. Maybe that'll be better. All right, now you can kind of see. Everyone see that? So you just go and change the opacity setting there. Now opacity. The next thing is if you did that on one and then you go to the next chart and it's pretty good on the other charts. I just had this setting wrong on this one, but what you can do is then just save that and then just load the template on the other charts. Come on, Dow, come on down, give me a fill. Just joining, I was talking this morning about news cycles and overlaying that with your trading, and how a lot of the time it's more noise and it hurts a little bit more than it helps. Let me give you another example, which is the Fed policies over the course of the next year or two, right? They're going to raise every meeting. They're going to raise every other meeting. They're going to raise 50 to start. They're going to, of course, none of us know, right? So we'll know when we know. But to me, if you had the exactly what was going to happen, like if you had a calendar that told you the Fed was going to do this on every single meeting for the next 10, 15 meetings over the next year and a half. They're going to raise 50 here. They're going to raise 25 there. They're not going to raise here. Then they're going to raise 25. Then they're going to raise 50. Then they're not going to raise for 2. Then whatever the scenario is. It would give you zero edge in your short-term or long-term trading. You would have no idea what the price of the S&P or anything else is going to be based on having the exact, not the dot plots, which is a projection. I mean, if you really knew, if you had tomorrow's headlines. And that's true for earnings for the most part too, with certain exceptions. Obviously, if a company comes out with some sort of wacky shit the bed stuff when they were supposed to report a profit, I mean, we understand all that, but you could have Apple's quarterly earnings every single quarter ahead of time and have no edge on how to make money on that. All right, nice little move. Look, we just missed that swing there on the Dow. So S&P putting in a perfect doji at prior session's VPOC 43.22. And NASDAQ's finally getting its sea legs here.
Order filled. Order submitted.
I'm going to dance with the devil over here, shorting the NASDAQ before it gets to +2s. Well, so far I did not get the opportunity to buy HNT under 20. Now it looks like it's up to 23.5. Doji for the Russell. Crude oil actually coming in a little bit. Gold coming in as well. I'm going to graceful exit that NASDAQ and go up to where I should be, which is +2s at 14,006. So just a scratch there. I remember like 25 years ago, I was looking to kind of move up in stakes. I was playing poker with some kind of up and coming heavy hitters, and then maybe 20 years. Nah, it's more like 20. It's like the early 2000s. And my friend was a professional poker player, and you know, it's one of those, do you have any advice for me kind of situations? And he said, yeah, you want to flop more sets. That was his advice. So jokingly, if I had to give you a quick piece of advice in trading, just scratch more trades. Scratch more trades. The more trades you scratch, just see if you can scratch more trades.
Order filled. Order filled.
If you're hearing some orders, I'm trading on other. I have a virtual private machine now on this laptop, but we'll see if we can get a +2 order off there on the NASI. Anyone long the Dow? Did anyone take a Dow trade? Come on, it's not Monday, it's Tuesday. Should have a little coffee in you. Be interacting here. All right, we got one no. I'm going to start using everyone's initials, assigned initials. So RJ, no. Market PMI just came out at 645. Gotta move this up. 14,000.
Order fill.
I'm long some starter QQQs from last week. They're underwater, but basically I'm long the NASI, and I'm also long still a runner, a couple runners. We're looking at the day trading stuff here.
Order submitted.
See if we can get a little dip down there.
Order fill.
All right, scratch more trades. Remember, we got the
order filled.
We have got the Traders Expo this Thursday.
Order filled.
I didn't even know I had a trade there.
Order filled.
Ooh, Mike with a momentum long. We don't do momentum trading here, but good luck. Let's see if that can break out for you. I like it. It's in no man's land. You got kind of clear sailing all the way up to T-line and prior session's high. I forgot I had any orders resting there. It takes a lot of energy to get outside of the offer zone on a day like this when the overnight range was pretty wide. So a pop out of there, certainly targets up here of 153 would be good, but price is going to want to check back inside the offer zone here.
Order submitted. Order submitted. Order filled.
Cool. All right. Yeah, you hit a nice little pop there. Like I said, it was the probability was that it was going to come check back inside the offer zone here. I always say, everybody, if you got something that's working for you, that you feel comfortable with, that you've back tested, that you're forward testing, that you're journaling, and it's drastically different than a lot of the setups and frameworks that we use here, there's absolutely no problem. There's so many ways to make money. However, if you are struggling, not making progress, all those kinds of things, then learning a little bit about the frameworks that I'm teaching and training on may help you. Mike's mentioning getting chopped up. We don't get chopped up here. I don't get chopped up. I never get chopped up. You'll see me fight strong trend days, but I'm not getting chopped up. Nice pop there for the NASDAQ.
Order filled.
So Nazi, be watching. I would look to take targets or initiate. I mean, we just blew outside of the offer zone again. So lots of toads getting fried here. I just sold my swing position at 14,086. 14,086. So my swing long is done. On the next pop, I'll probably look to get short here. I won't do it in these accounts, but
Order filled.
here we go. Excuse me.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
If you're looking to get on this breakout trend here on the NASI, you cannot do it here. There's no pullback level. I would highly recommend not using +2s as an entry for a long. Let it go. Let it get at least back into the offer zone here. And an ideal best entry now would be 922. Obviously, a full reversal back to VWAP would get you done as well. But out here outside of the offer zones, see the S&P has stayed inside the offer zone. So targets here on would be 43.62s. Dow was well outside, as we know, but now look at the W, took 66 ticks out of it, and now it's 240 ticks. Excuse me, points. Okay, so there's the NASDAQ, like I said, just coming right back into the offer zone there. So if you're looking to try to catch this trend, beware of FOMO. 926, better area to entry. Get a little deeper inside the offer zone. Again, it's not my style. I'm not buying this thing at all until it gets back into the middle of the muck if I wanted to buy it. But your targets, if you want to keep a runner on, would be up here, as we just discussed, at 145. Long trend, yeah. Well, there's no trend here at all, right? It's just fantastic. It's an inside day with a huge range, right? So it's a good thing. I got a trail stop on a NASDAQ short from, I went short at 14,081 quarter after taking off the other, and I got one last runner here, right here. So I'm still short. Describing market action a lot of the time, especially in the short term, and we're only together for about an hour and a half every day, and markets are remaining nicely volatile and decent movement. We got one more minute in our 7 o'clock candle, but there's like a joke about a sales guy and a sales engineer, and the sales guy's in a hot air balloon, and he's about 45 feet off the ground, and he yells down to the engineer and says, "Hey, where am I?" And the engineer says, "Well, you're approximately 40 feet above me to the southwest. Do you want to know your longitude and latitude?" And like, "No, where am I?" It's like, "I just told you where I am." Where you are. Anyway, it's a lot when you're talking about trends and momentum and movement. It's always on what time frame and what perspective and all that good stuff, right? I'm going to trail down my buy stop on this NASDAQ short. Yeah, it's all relative. You're short at 14,000. All right, well, you just break even. Take a look to take a graceful exit on one of them. That's where my stop's right about where you're at. So we'll see. Nice. That's great. I still got a runner. So I'm up 160 on this and took 95 on the first. So on a 2 lot, almost $250. Got lucky on the exit. All right, I'm going to go feed the dog. So I'm going to cancel this here. Green in all the accounts over here, really green in some of my others. I guess we lost a little on the MNQ there.
Order filled. canceled.
All right, I'm going to do Dodger a little bit early here, so I'll be off the desk for about 5 minutes. My Kerpos is equals all flat, so I'm all flat. Kerpos stands for current position. Definitely a bunny slope day. I'm going to be on the bunny slopes with you guys for the foreseeable future. On the bunny slopes, if you are even an intermediate skier, you should never pretty much fall down unless you're looking at a hot girl or hot guy or hit a bear or something like that. So the equivalent here is, if we do this, I can show you a consecutive streak of never losing money. And we'll see how it goes. All right, the gardener is here, so I'm going to mute the mic. I'll be back in just a little bit. Traders, it's just a dream day. I hope you guys, some of you are taking advantage of these moves. It's again just a real nice thing. Look, this whole thing, we're just staying inside. So I'm back. We're staying inside of the good dream morning there. The velocity, the speed of movement, a little quick for a lot of folks. We had that breakout earlier where it just busted out of the offer zone, but look how wide this offer zone is now. It's 947 up to 14,083. So now the market has been able to adjust to the volatility there.
Order submitted. Order submitted. Order filled.
Lane mentioned he was green. How was everyone else this morning? Members, we didn't get nearly as many. Again, I was mentioning that a lot of people aren't using Discord yet, but we did not get nearly the weekly performance that we needed in here. Meaning the amount of people that posted. We need more people posting their weekly. Mike, if you're in the room, I'll just answer this question for you here. I don't run the extreme turn on Ninja, so I couldn't tell you. My settings on TradingView are 5 period, not a 3 period, so you might mess with that. I'd have to look, Lane, but nothing around the current price and this stuff looks squeezy at me at all. The undercut low and the price action last night was very, very poor futures traders getting stopped out of longs, not new shorts. So that's what I saw there on the tape. But overall, yeah, I don't read a whole lot into those higher time frames. There's a reason that I don't actually show higher time frames in here very often. I'll show them when we've had a major, what looks like a major shift of some kind. Yeah, I don't care about higher time frames. Because, well, for the context of what we're doing in here we're day trading for income, right? We're day trading for income. We're managing risk. We're passing programs to get access to capital. So if I was playing another game, like, let me give you an example. I only look at higher time frames for my HNT trading, which is big position swing trading in helium, right? I now have about a third of my entire net worth in helium. That might sound crazy, but that's how you get rich. Like, I'll either be really wrong or really right. And I like the fact that some really, really smart people just put $200 million into the helium project, and they have one of the largest valuations and market caps, and no one knows about them because they're crypto, not a stock. So anyhow, I like it for stuff like that. But for day trading futures, pick on Mike because he's my paisan, and he loves when I pick on him. He put the dreaded 200 SMA in Discord yesterday. He mentioned a 200 SMA. That was worth 10 lashings. If you ever hear me say 200 SMA or those higher time frames for the Qs or the SPYs, we might do it in the context of, again, an options trade or something like that. But another massive mistake that I just see from so many traders is they have so many time frames they're referencing. Use a 3 or 5 minute chart with the volatility bands using the 534 strategy that I teach on TradingView. And you can trade that without even looking at a 30-minute chart. You'll be amazed at how many days price stays inside the volatility bands and the trend is defined by the 34 EMA. Sure, give me Bollinger Bands, squeeze, I don't care. You can put anything you want in there. You know I jest with all you. Hold on, buddy. Yeah, traders, if you are members and you have access to the extreme turn and you are not looking at it or using it, you're doing yourself a massive disservice. Let alone that I don't ever mention the ADX strategy, which you also get, and there's teaching and training on that inside of the Learning Center. But just the extreme turn, if not even for a signal, the extreme turn has been, I've just pounded the table. I did a whole video on it thank you for all the kind words on that video. But if we go to this chart right here, if you just see this indicator is so powerful because this, as I've now mentioned about 1 million times, is a no touch signal, keeps you out of a long, keeps you out of the strong momentum. And this, the single bar, is the most beautiful thing you can have. So this is an indicator that's doing two things for you. When it's so good or so bad that it's too bad and too good, you're filtered out. And when it's a perfect signal, it catches V bottoms all the time. You want to overlay that with a T line and some of the other stuff we talk about. So again, I mentioned this morning on 9 contracts, another $3,000 winner. I'm not that smart. I'm just long. I was long from VPOC. I didn't take this extreme turn thing. I was in Discord with some of you at the time, but yeah, you have to. And the only difference in the way your chart might look is if you have a setting to 5, the RSI setting to 5 to 3. That's about it. And you can play with it. You can set it up to 7 on a 2-hour. You can do a variety of different things. Is new member John in here? Not John. Tony. Tony, are you in here? Tony something. Anyhow, if you are Tony, I just replied to your email, and you're absolutely welcome. In fact, I encourage, get off that monthly. Commit, baby. So just let me know, and I'm happy to. You can just cancel that monthly, and you can pick up an annual for however you'd like to do it. Oh, good. Okay. So check your email. Just let me know.
Order filled.
14,100 in the cards for sure, don't we think? Who knows? Okay, you got the S&P coming up to an interesting area here, which I would describe as
Order filled.
interesting because it's back-to-back sort of developing value area highs. Nothing other than that, really. Here's the levels, pretty easy to see. See this whole honking level there, where we now have 3 days where the VPOC is in this sort of zone and area.
Order submitted. Order submitted.
Short again the NASDAQ here. I'm just printing money over here. Small ball. $700 trading micros.
Order filled.
All right, stopped out there. Traders, if you're a new member, if you're first time in here, God, sorry about that. Jeez. Hold on. Okay. What's Mike saying? How did I miss that? I mentioned 14,150 and 1 today. Just 150 is right around T-line and prior sessions high. So that's certainly in play. And the 14,001 is just plus twos right now. So, but the beautiful thing is how well this NASDAQ now is respecting this whole offer zone. When you see a shaded background here, that means we're in a bid zone or an offer zone. So, I mean, just look at this. It's a thing of beauty. Oh, okay. So this is what my eye is drawn to, gang. Is I look back. So this is Tuesday, Monday, Friday, right? Tuesday, Monday, Friday, and look at this cluster of VPOCs here, right? So this is what I would say is the imbalance area for right now. A break above, close above, and certainly if we can get above these series of lower highs here. All right.
Order filled.
Now the plus twos are up to 14,113.
Order filled.
See if buyers can bust us outside of the offer zone once again.
Order canceled.
I'm going to
Order filled.
flirt with the devil here again.
Order submitted.
Actually down money over here on the NASDAQ. Nice.
Order submitted. Order submitted. Order canceled.
Gang, it's not normally this easy. I mean, it's just too easy today. Just too easy. When you have an offer zone that's this wide, okay, so one of the things I was mentioning is if it's your first time here as on a trial or a new member, just wanted to remind you that there is the room drive there. It's a little folder. So make sure you spend a little time and fire through there. You can grab the template that I'm showing here for NinjaTrader. There's plenty of instructions on why the template won't look exactly the same if you don't have a lifetime license, but you can start with that template. There's pictures of my dogs, a lot of other good stuff in there. If you ever want to grab a replay of the session, I post them on the web sometimes. They're always posted by the end of the day for members in the Discord channel, but you can just hit the hamburger menu and go to recordings, archives recordings, and you can grab usually the last 10 if you want to just reinforce some of the concepts here. Any questions right now? I had on my list to mention Tick Tick Trader, which I'm going to mention in just a second. We've had a little bit of a thread going on in the. All right, so this is going to be a nice day in both accounts here. Trail that down.
Order filled.
All right, stopped out. I'm going to cancel these two working orders.
Order canceled.
Just keep it flat. I moved over one of these accounts here that I'll be talking more about because we've had some threads starting about Collective 2, and I've been meaning to get to that for over a year, but we'll see if we get there. But essentially, this was started. It's a SIM account, but it sends signals to Collective 2 that are then replicated in all my live accounts for my clients. So it was started back in June of last year at 50 grand. The balance now is 67,471. And that's trading only micros and all the same kind of super small stuff that you see here. Unwavering faith. Just need to build your faith that it is possible. It's probable. TradingView or TradingView, you wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing here on Ninja with the Brickwicks in terms of managing a position. So just to set expectations. On TradingView, you could certainly execute the 534 strategy where you're kind of entering at only the actual levels or lines, volatility lines. TradingView is fantastic. It's great for charting and analysis, but the best combination is to have the Trade of 8 dome up and enter the trade off the dome and then just chart and watch things on. I have a video on that on my YouTube channel. Let's see if I can bring it up without crashing our system here. If you're not already, make sure you are following the Futures Fanatic channel on YouTube. All right. So real quick on the Futures Fanatic gang, I created these channels now. So you have uploads. I thought I did. Maybe it's. I thought it had uploads and. Now what is it doing? Now it just froze. All right, this is the one. So if you'd like to see, I think the best way to I guess got too much stuff on this laptop. There we go. There we go. Mike, do you have when you're saying on TradingView, there's no way you're going to be able to do this on TradingView. TradingView is for a different strategy. That's why we teach the 534 over there, and you can use TradingView to know what the levels are. But you're going to have to, if you want to do tight targets, scalping, whatever you'd like to call it. It was funny. I was talking to the guys from Tick Trader the other day. Everyone's reacting. I mean, they're 6 like big time professional traders. There's an interesting conversation, and they're really into, you know, they think that Ninja's a toy, right? So it depends on who you're talking about. I was mentioning scalping, and their definition of scalping is running like homegrown algos executing on TT, right, or using Jigsaw. But anyway, you can get the Ninja for free, and you can get the Brickwicks for free. And if you do that, then you can. But for a lot of people, folks, the managing positions and the Brickwicks are going to be a little squirrely for a while, right? So, but everyone should be able to know that this is your entry right here. It's 126 now. So you just go left click 126 and buy right there, 977, and you just sit and wait. And all the trades that I'm taking in between are really just, you know, gravy. All right, folks, I think I'm going to end a little early here, just in about a couple minutes. I have some things this morning I need to take care of, and For the most part, the moves are in. How's the day? Did you guys comment? Did anyone mention? Everyone should be green today. Pretty orderly, easy day overall. Stayed well within the ranges. Look at the back-to-back VPOCs here on the Dow. S&P coming right down to VPOC at 43.45. It's a nice 13-point move lower from R1 and developing value area high of 358s. There you go. There we go. Yeah, that's absolutely fine too. Yeah. So Chicago Fire saying that he's just letting that opening half-hour range come in before getting involved. There you go. Down a buck. By the way, Mike, I can't get any of you guys. Occasionally, some of you have done it. Like John's done it occasionally. We have a bunch of Johns, and we have Johns that go by Derek, and we have all kinds of other things. But I've seen some of you that will post small to reasonable losses, which is fantastic. There's Pat. How are you coming? Are you on one of these? That's a nice day. There you go. That looks like an Interactive Brokers screenshot or something. Maybe, I don't know. You trade on TradeStation. Okay, there you go. I was going to say, do I have any Interactive Brokers people over here paying the minimum margin on Interactive Brokers to trade a single NQ is $2,200. Initial margin $2,200. Which makes 0 sense because, well, it's pretty close. Their margin on a full NQ is 15,008, so that makes sense. But nice move lower here, gang. I mean, just a great two-way action day. You can't ask for more than this. I'm going to cancel. I'm going to hopefully cancel this. There we go. I'm just going to cancel this and close out of these orders, and we'll call it. Yeah, so gang, Mike sent an email and he mentioned that he violated a rule on his TopStep combine and was waiting for a time to reset. And I had said, hey, well, you should be aware that TopStep does a reset on your subscription renewal automatically, which is a pretty good deal. Also, I think makes the consequence of your trading a little bit more impactful, where if you can manage to be patient, you keep your costs down, you just trade in sim and wait until your subscription renewals, and then you're going to get a reset. Now, yours truly has mentioned that to every other firm, and they're all starting to implement it. So you might see it everywhere. So it is exists now at the new company Elite Trader Funding. So they'll reset your account automatically if it's in a locked state on your subscription renewal. Tick Trader is going to implement it, and Bulenox already has it. So at Bulenox, resets are $75-80, but if you are blown up into your subscription renewal, just allow your subscription renewal and your account will automatically be reset. So automatic resets may end up being the norm, which will be good. All right, I am going to end it here just a little early today. Any other questions that I could answer today? Good session. I see a bunch of emails that have come through. I don't know if any of these emails are from folks that are in here. Tony already mentioned that. I'll take care of that. There are no discount codes at all for resets, gang. So there's no such. There have been programs where you get a free reset when you sign up. TopStep has done that before, but there's no resets here. There's no coupons for resets. Also, the last thing on resets, and most of you have probably already sort of figured this out, but like right now on the earn to trade TCP, the first month in recurring lifetime is $75. So if you blew that up, it's not cost effective to reset it because it costs more than the subscription. Just cancel the subscription and sign up again. Now I know that's possible elsewhere. Earn to trade's kind of weird. So if that's not possible at earn to trade, then don't quote me on that. But if I had a $75 subscription and I could still buy another subscription for $75, I would do that before I paid $100 to reset it. So hopefully that's just basic common math that everyone's aware of. Okay, I don't think there's any more questions. If there's no more questions, thanks for everyone who uploaded their stuff. Remember, the session on Thursday is going to be starting later, so I might log in earlier. It depends on the room setup and everything. That's this Thursday in 2 days, so it'll be later. I'll make sure I send an email about that. But you're going to want to try to be present for that thing because that's how I'm going to do the giveaway. And I have a lot of these accounts now, so I have over. I'm not even going to tell you how many I have. Like, apparently, I'm a big deal. I asked for 2 accounts from each firm, and one firm gave me 15. Another firm gave me 5. Apex is probably going to give me as many as I asked for. I'm going to talk to them about it tomorrow. So your chances of winning are very high if you are in the room on at 11 a.m. Eastern on Thursday. It's $50,000 accounts, first month only. So, you know, these things have a value of about $100, $150, not bad. Pat and some of you others, just keep in mind that I think you guys are on installment plans. If when your first installment payment is made, you already get a complimentary one too. So just remind me. My system will tell me too, but I'm pretty crappy at managing the system. So we had about 10 or 15 people signed up for the lifetime when I was offering that sort of unadvertised bonus. So many of you are going to already get a free first month at one of the firms pretty soon. So just keep that in mind as well. Yeah, and of course, I jokingly told all these people, you know, TDG members, we don't blow up. These are long-term people that are going to trade with you for years. Wink, wink. We don't blow up. We follow along with what Rod's doing, at least somewhat. All right, that will be it for today. Stay green, trade like you mean it. We will see you tomorrow. Be good, everybody. Bye-bye.